Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua Cronin, and the movie review that I'll be bringing to you today is Moneyball, directed by Bennett Miller. It was released back in 2011, and Moneyball is basically a film, a true story about Billy Beane, the general manager of the Oakland Athletics baseball team, and as he tries to assemble a roster that is competable in the MLB. And it basically goes through the challenges that he faces and the adversity that he faces to be able to do this while having the lowest payroll in the MLB. And it shows basically shows his determination on trying to really rebuild and recreate the roster that he has. And that's basically one of the main focuses that I would say that the movie has is basically taking a different approach to the player evaluation and the team building that was already within, and just trying to basically build the program from the ground up. He didn't really have a lot to work with. He didn't have really any name players back then. And like I said, his payroll was the lowest in the MLB. So he had to try to use different methods of scouting and player acquisitions, and basically just trying to rebuild his team from the ground up because of the financial constraints that he was on. That led him to using a method called sabermetrics, and what sabermetrics is statistical approach to a player's evaluation and the team's building. So like I said, he had to build the team from the ground up. Therefore, he had to use different methods to be able to do that. I think aspects of the movie that relate to today's game and also the original setting of the film was basically the analytics and the data-driven decision making. The film focuses on a shift towards using statistical analytics to evaluate players' performance. I know that in today's game, a player is evaluated based on his statistical numbers, and so I feel like this film does a great job of that, and also challenging the traditional scouting methods. I feel like this film did a great job of showing how a scout really works and how he really thinks and tries to see what a player would be best at. Another thing that I think this film does a great job of is financial constraints and resource management. This film really addresses challenges faced by teams with limited financial resources, such as back then the Oakland Athletics. It kind of shows that how smaller market teams to continue to compete with wealthier, I guess you could say wealthier teams. And it just shows the challenges that these type of teams face. I know that in today's game, I wouldn't just say in baseball, but just really in any sport in general, when you come across maybe say a team that isn't doing so well, or a team that is in I guess you could say poor community. I won't even say poor community, but when you compare it to other cities and stuff, it's not as wealthy. I think it's harder for these teams to be able to bring in players and also just use their finances to be able to bring in players. I think another thing that this film really touches on is cultural impact. Moneyball really shows you that the cultural impact that it has influencing how sports fans and professionals perceive the game. I feel like Beane's approach to the team building inspired. I feel like it teaches you that you can make something out of nothing, in my personal opinion. And overall, I would definitely suggest Moneyball. I think that it has a compelling story. It really just you're always focused in on what's gonna happen next. It offers a narrative-based story that is based on real-life events. It engages sports fans and also just regular audiences in general because, like I said, you're attached to the movie the whole time. It had strong performances by actors. I know Brad Pitt is one of my favorite actors. I feel like he was a great role for this movie. Jonah Hill, even though he's maybe known as more of a funnier guy in movies, I feel like he played a great part in this movie. And it had relevant themes. I think it explores timeless themes such as innovation, um, basically resilience as well, and the pursuit of just success against all odds. The theme I would say is to just never give up. Because as Billy did in this movie, like I said, he took his team from the ground up and he faced so many adversities that not a lot of people would be able to face. And I feel like he really stuck to it, stuck out the plan, and it really worked out in his favor. So yeah, I think that Moneyball is really a well-crafted movie. It inspires, it educates the audience, and even if you're not a sports fan, I feel like this is really an educational built film because it teaches you basically like front office stuff and like I want to say like it's basically like a professional movie. It teaches you the mind of a professional within any type of business, and I really feel like that's why this movie was a great.